So students, let's now discuss code with the help of the output. So we have discussed the code at length, and now again we are just comparing that what was the code and what is the output. So here you can see that in the code we have created three vectors. The first one is empid, where 1, 2, 3, 4 are our IDs. Then we have the vectors Devi, Sandeep, Shubham and Shiva. These are the names. Number of employees are 4, and then we have the list function. So within the list function, we have empid, which is named as ID, emp name is named as names, and number of employees is named as total staff. So that you have seen. And now what we are doing? We are concatenating, and then we have created another list that you can see in the green color, which is employee age. So now what we are doing, we have created a vector age and employee age, and that vector we have passed as a parameter in the function list, and we are naming it as age. And the name of the list is age list. So now we have two particular lists. One is age list and the second one is list. So students, now it is very simple to concatenate. I have list and I have age list. Both the things I'm combining with the C function, which is equal to list. So you can see list is my final variable, which is restoring the entire list, which is my original list variable. And then I'm printing on the screen. So you can see the output in two colors. The first one is the black color for your clarity, because it is pertaining to the black code. So you can see in the black color, we are just printing whatever before concatenation we had our data, and we have just printed the output. So here you can see we have printed SID, we have printed names, and we have also printed total staff, which is 4. So you can see the number of employees is 4, which is printed, and I've highlighted that for you just because to see that how the output is changing. So the total staff is the variable which is not the list type. Now, after concatenating the new list is having what? It is having one more vector which is added, and that is employee age. So you can see the new output now. After the total staff, if you all can see, there is a variable age. So after the total staff in the end, you can see the first variable was ID, the second was names, whatever name we have given, and then the total staff, and then in the end we can say age. So age is having 34, 23, 18 and 45. So that is how we have concatenated the two lists, and the final list is appearing on the screen after the concatenation. So that is how we can concatenate multiple lists and make a long chain. So this is a kind of chain we are saying because the elements are added in the end of the original list. We can add 2 lists, 3 lists, or n number of lists. Now, we will see what is merging of data. Merging of data is very important, and merging of data is also needed at lot many times. We can merge the list by placing all the lists into a single list. How we go about it? Let's create two lists. First is the list 1, which is having the values 1, 2, 3. Second is the list, which is having the variable Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Now we are merging the two lists. So the first is list 1 and list 2, and we are passing that into the new list. And now we are just printing the new list, and there is output on the screen that you can see. So you can see 1, 2, 3 are there, and Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are there. So these are the 6 values that comes after merging the list. So we have merged two lists very easily with the help of C function. Subsetting a list. Now you must be thinking, what is subsetting a list? Subsetting basically means extract a particular list item. So how to extract a list item is very crucial, because every time we don't require the entire data set. We just want a particular element or the element at a particular location. So the first one is that when we want to subset a list, we use the double square brackets. List, double square brackets, and within the brackets, the index number. You can see that there is a list, and list function is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's restored in the list 1 variable. Then we have the print command where we are printing it on the screen. Now, suppose I want to print the first element. Very simple. You can see print within brackets list 1, within double square brackets 1, which means I'm extracting the first element. The first element is 1. And in the right hand side, you can see the output. The output has the first print command, which is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the end, you can see only one, which means I'm printing only the first element of the complete list and I'm ignoring 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the second print command, I'm only printing the value which is at the first index location. Now, how can I extract multiple list items? Definitely, I can do that. In this example, you can see that list function is having a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are stored in the list variable. Now here, I am writing list1 within the print command and calling with the help of C function. So with this, within the square brackets, I am giving the list of indexes. So students, you have to keep this thing in mind that when I'm giving a square bracket after list, I'm passing the indexes. So here I've passed the indexes with the help of a vector, which is with the C function. So I have passed the indexes 1, 2, 3. So likewise, you can see on the right hand side the output. The output is 1, 2 and 3. Now, let's have a look of the third method, that is extract multiple list items with slice operator. That sometimes we can use the slice operator and we can extract multiple list items. So here we are going to use index numbers in slice operator. List is the input list. Basically, it is the list. Index start is the start position of the list, that from where you want to slice, and index end is the last position or end of the index till where you want to extract the data. So we have created a list. You can see over here list. Within the list, we have brackets, and in the brackets, we have a variable a, which is equated to 1:3. This means that for variable a, it will be 1 till 3. For variable b, it will be 5 till 8. And for geeks, it will be geeks. So you can get elements from 1 to 3. Print data C1:3. So how we are calling? We have given the data. First of all, we have given the data over there, and then we are extracting the values. So you can see over here that data is equal to a list of values where the first one is 1:3 and the B is 5:8 and geeks. Now we want elements from 1 to 3. So how will I get the elements from 1 to 3? So you can see over here, I write print data, and within square brackets, I pass the vector and I pass 1:3. So you can see over here that I'm getting geeks as an output. Now let's understand method 4, which is basically using sapply function. Let's have an introduction on sapply function, that what it is doing. So you can see over here that we can access the elements from the sapply function using index numbers. We have sapply. Within brackets, there is list, comma, square brackets, which means square bracket means that this is my index. I'm looking for index. And then I'm passing a C function and within brackets index. So create list, data is equal to list, within brackets A equals to C and 1:3, that is my data. Then B is equal to 5:8, that is my data, and geeks. Now to get elements of index 1 and 2, what will I do? So to get the elements of index 1 and 2, I will pass sapply, I'll pass the data and then square brackets, and with the C vector, I'll pass 1 and 2, which means the first value and the second value. So you can see the output, it is coming on the screen. The first value and the second value is coming on the screen, that you can see very easily. Now we understand method 5 using dollar operator. So with the help of dollar operator, we can get the elements using the name. So list dollar name, which means I'm pulling the name column of list. So create list, data equals to list, and within the list we have the values A, B and geeks. So get elements from A. If I want only from A, what will I do? I'll write print $A. If I want to get elements from B, I'll print data $B, which means I'm pulling the B column. So you can see when I'm printing A, I get the A output, which is 1, 2, 3. And when I'm printing B, I get the B output, which is 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is how we can very easily extract data from a list. Now, let's talk about time series, the concept of time series. What is a time series? Time series is a series of data points in which each data point is associated with a timestamp, which means suppose there is a simple example is the price of a stock in the stock market at different points of time on a given day. Another example is the amount of rainfall in a region at different months of the year. So basically the amount of rainfall varies in every month. It can be high in January, low in February, and very low in March. And that is why if we talk on the timeline, we find that the value varies. So that is time series. And lot many times in statistics, we need to analyze what is the data, what is the impact of time on a particular data. So our language uses many functions to create, manipulate, and plot the time series data. The data for the time series is stored in an R object called time series object.